This tutorial is going to look at how to create section views in drawings, and you may want to include a section view to show different wall thicknesses or details inside the part, or maybe to illustrate through holes and their cross sections as well. So you're going to want to set your working directory to drawing views section and load in section views .drw. So we'll just do that. I've already set my working directory to the correct location, and it's this section views.drw that you need to load in. So you can see that we've been given a drawing sheet with some projected views on it, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn this view here, which has been designated as that one, shaft side. So this side view, we're going to turn this into a section view, and then we're going to insert a section line on this top view here just to show what that section is showing. So we'll create a section line through there as well. So one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to open the part file itself. So we're temporarily coming out of this drawing file, so we can select the part file there. That's the drawing model that's been attached to this drawing. So if we right click on there and click on open, you can see that it's opened a new window there, and it's showing us the part in normal modeling mode. So I'm just going to turn my display back to shading with edges, just so you can see that a bit more clearly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select this tab here, which is the View Manager tab, and I'll just drag that across so that you can see it better. There's various tabs within here that allow you to set various options to do with different view types and display types. We're interested in the sections one. You can see that currently we have no cross-section active, but you can also see that there's a cross-section in here that's been defined, and it's been given the letter A as its name. So if we just right click on that and click on show, we can see what that looks like. So hopefully you can see that in the graphics window. The part's essentially being sliced down the middle. If we turn the datum planes back on temporarily, you can see that that's essentially being sliced using the right plane there. And more than that, you can see that it has some cross-hatching displayed on there to indicate that that is a cross-section. But let's say you didn't have a cross-section view already defined. So let's just disable that, and I think we'll delete it, in fact. So we've deleted that view. This is how your part would be if you just created it. You wouldn't have a cross-section. Let's create a new one. Click on new. There's various options. If you know which way the X, Y and Z coordinates are oriented in your part, you could define them by X direction, Y or Z. We're going to choose planar, because what we're going to do is we're going to choose the right plane as our reference to chop the part with. So I'm going to pick planar. It gives me a new cross-section view. It gives it a default name of XSEC 0001. Let's say I'm happy with that. I can just hit enter, and then it enters into the section definition dialog. So you can see that references is highlighted there. It's asking me for a reference, saying select a plane or surface or coordinate system, and I'm just going to select that right plane. So it's happy with that. If I wanted to give that an offset value from the right plane, I could enter that in there, but I'm happy with that, just using the right plane to cross-section the part. So you can see there that that cross-section is now active, and when you activate a cross-section, it actually visually removes all the portion of the part that's been chopped away to create that cross-section. If I want to deactivate that view, I can right click on the no cross-section and activate the original again. You can see it's there, and if I just want a little preview like we did initially, I can right click on the section, and instead of activating, just click on show section, and you can see essentially I've recreated that original cross section. So let's close that down. We can just close this window because the system will keep the changes that we've made. It stores them in memory, so we can close that window down. You can see that back on our drawing, because we made datum planes visible again, they've all become visible in this drawing as well. We don't want that, so I'm going to turn them back off again. You can see that they don't disappear initially, and that's because you have to repaint or redraw the current view. So there you go. So as we said, we're going to turn this view, this side view, into that section view. So we're going to select the view first, so it's active. You can see it's highlighted in this dotted green, and then right click down to properties, and then we get our drawing view properties window here. There's an option there called sections, so we'll go in there. It's a 2D cross section that we've created, and then we once we've selected 2D cross section, we just have to click the plus arrow just to add our section in. So click the plus arrow, shows you any sections that are stored within the part file. That's the one that we created. So if we select that and then just click on OK, you can see that it annotates this view. It refers to it as a section. That's the first thing it does, and then it gives the name of the section, and the agreed way of naming a section is to repeat the name twice, essentially. So normally you would give a section just a letter, and the section would be called, let's say you gave it the letter A again, it would be called section A-A. So ours is a little bit long-winded because we didn't rename it properly, but we could go back into the part and rename that section to just a single letter. That would be more standard. So we've got that cross section now. Let's say we're not happy with the hatching that's been created there. I've deselected the view now. I haven't got the view selected anymore. I've just clicked into some blank space. But then if I hover back over it, you can see that the hatching itself is available for selection as well. So you can see I'm just hovering over it and then going away again, and you can see it's highlighting there. So I want to select just the hatching. So I've done that now. I've clicked on it, and then if I right click and go to properties, I get this whole menu dedicated to modifying the look of the hatching there. So there's line, style and offset and angle. In this case I just want the hatching a little bit more dense than it is currently. So let's see what we can do about that. So it's the spacing that we want to modify. So we'll select spacing. I think half the current spacing would be about right. So if I click on half, I get a little preview. I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to hit done. And then it's still highlighted in green. That's because I've still got the crosshatch selected. So if I want to deselect that, I click in some free space, and there you go. So I'm happy with that section view. It's labelled properly, it's got crosshatching. The crosshatching is how I want it to look. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to include a section line up here on this view to indicate what this section is actually showing. So if I select a view that is showing a cross section, which is this view here, and then I right click to get the menu up as well, and then this option is the one that I'm interested in, this add arrows. So it's basically saying pick a view for the arrows to be attached to. I want to put them on this view, so I select that now, and you can see that that section line gets added to the view up there. So I'm reasonably happy with that now. It's showing the direction that I'm viewing that part, which is correct. If I wanted to flip that direction, I could right click on the line, or select the line first, and then go there and flip material removal side. You can see that the lines flip. You can also see that I can no longer see my section anymore, and that's because this view is looking at the part from the wrong side. So I would have to reconfigure my view layouts in order to get that to work. But if you need to do that, then that's how you flip the section inline. You just right click on it, flip material removal side, and there you go. So we've created a sectional view of our model.